Okay, so this is these are selected problems from past exams that can be used to help you study for your differentiation assessment during the spring 2025 semester at Oklahoma State University. So let's just start by working a few of these problems, and you'll notice I kind of put here what exam they're from, so if you were looking back at old exams, you could find these problems and see them in context. So the first problem is just compute the following derivatives, and so I can see f of theta equals e to the sine theta over theta. So overall, the structure of this is that of a quotient rule, but then in the numerator, that e to the sine theta is going to involve chain rule. So let's go ahead and write out f prime of theta. So since this is ultimately structured like a quotient rule, I'll just go ahead and write out the structure of the quotient rule. So it's going to be low d high minus high d low, and then square the bottom. So the bottom function is theta. The derivative of the top, I'll have to use chain rule to take the derivative of the top. So it's going to be e to the, leave the inside part alone, sine theta, times the derivative of the inside part, which is going to be cosine theta, minus high d low, so e to the sine theta, and then the derivative of the bottom is just 1, and then over the bottom squared, so theta squared. And you can just leave it exactly like that. So for the next one, I want to find the second derivative of this function. So I can say that y prime is going to be, well, I'm going to need to use the derivative rule, that the derivative of a to the x is equal to a to the x times the natural log of a. So here the a is 2, so I'm going to utilize that derivative rule. So it's going to be 2 to the, I'm going to leave the inside part alone, x squared, natural log 2, so that's the derivative of the outside part, times the derivative of the x squared will be 2x. So I can leave it like that for the first derivative. For the second derivative, I'm going to take the derivative again, and you'll notice that I have to use product rule now, because I have a product of two things. So I have this part and this part. You could break it up slightly differently, but I'm choosing to break it up that way. And then I can write out the derivative using product rule. So I'm going to leave the first part alone, 2 to the x squared, natural log 2, times the derivative of the second part, which is going to be a 2, plus, now I'm going to take the derivative of that first part, so that'll be 2 to the x squared, natural log 2, times x squared, natural log 2, and then times, I'm going to leave the 2x alone. So I have the derivative, leave the first part alone, so this is, if this is f and this is g, I have f g prime, plus, and then this is f prime, and this is g. So for the next one, it says I want to find the derivative for this implicitly defined function. So I need to take the derivative implicitly with respect to x. So I'll have e to the 3x times 3, so 3e to the 3x equals, when I take the derivative of sine of y, I have to remember that I have to use the chain rule. So this is going to be cosine. I leave the inside part alone, and then I multiply by the derivative of y, which is dy dx, minus 8, and then the derivative of y is dy dx. And so now I just need to solve that for dy dx, so I can factor out a dy dx. And then to solve for dy dx, I can just divide that part over. So I get dy dx equals 3e to the 3x divided by cosine y minus 1. Okay, for the next one, it says, this is a related rates problem. One boat approaches a dock from the west at a constant speed of 20 kilometers per hour. At noon, this boat is 60 kilometers west of the dock. Another boat leaves the same dock at 11, traveling directly north at a constant speed of 15 kilometers per hour. So what I want to do is I want to draw my dock, and then one boat is approaching the dock from the west, so I have a boat here that's going this way towards the dock. And then I have another boat that's leaving the dock traveling north, so this is the second boat. And so the unknown distances are these distances x and y, and then I have this other distance z, which is the distance between the two boats. Okay, and so so I know that those are my changing quantities. So this is boat 1, this is boat 2, and then the distance from boat 1 to the dock is x, the distance from boat 2 to the dock is y, and the distance between the boats is z. And those are all quantities that are changing as these boats are moving. And so what I want to do is relate the different rates that are there. So I can say, I can start by, well, the rate that I'm given is I'm given dy dx, I'm given dx dt and dy dt. So dx dt is the rate of change of x. Since the boat is approaching the dock, that means that x is a quantity that is shrinking because the boat is getting closer to the dock. So the rate of change is going to be -20 for dx dt. And then for dy dt, that boat is leaving the dock traveling north, so that means y is increasing, so the rate of change will be positive there. So that's 15. And what I'm asked to find is dz dt, and that's the one I don't know. So to start, I need to find a relationship between x, y, and z, and then take the derivative of that relationship implicitly with respect to t. So I know by the Pythagorean theorem that x squared plus y squared equals z squared. And then I can take the derivative of that implicitly with respect to t. I'll get 2x dx dt plus 2y dy dt equals 2z dz dt. And so now I have these rates showing up. So I can plug in the values of those rates, but I also need to know the values of x, y, and z at that particular moment. So it's saying at what rate is the distance between the boats changing at 1 p.m. So I have to do some reasoning about what I know about is happening at 1 p.m. to find the links x, y, and z so that I can plug in those values. So I'm just going to make another triangle over here that says at 1 o'clock, I can find the values of x, y, and z. So let's think about them one at a time. So at noon, boat 1 is 60 kilometers from the dock, but it's moving towards the dock at a speed of 20 kilometers per hour. So after 1 hour, it will have gone 20 kilometers, which means the distance is now 60 minus 20, which is 40 kilometers. And then boat 2, I know, left the dock at 11 and is traveling at 15 kilometers per hour. So 1 o'clock, it's been traveling for 2 hours, and so it's gone 30 miles. And then I can use Pythagorean theorem to find that third side. And I know since this looks like a 3, 4, 5 triangle, it's going to end up being 50. But if I didn't know that value, I could say 40 squared plus 30 squared equals z squared and solve for z. Okay, so now what I can do is I have this value for x, a value for y, and a value for z at 1 o'clock. I can plug all of those in with the rates that I know and solve for the rate that's missing. So I'll get 2 times -20 times the x is 40 plus 2 times 30 times 15 equals 2 times 50 times dz dt. And then I'll plug that all into my calculator and I'll get dz dt equals and then I'll get 2 times 20, so all of that gives me -700 divided by 100, which is -7. The units of that are kilometers per hour. So what that means is that the distance between the boats is actually shrinking at 1 o'clock p.m. All All right, so again, we're going to be taking derivatives. And one thing here on this first one, you notice that it uses the derivative of arctangent. And so that's a derivative rule, that arctan of x is equal to 1 over 1 plus x squared. And so we utilize that rule here. So f prime of x will be, it'll be 1 over 1 plus the inside part squared. The inside part here is x cubed, right? And then by the chain rule, we'll need to multiply by the derivative of the inside part, which will be 3x squared. And we can leave it just like that. For the next one, I have 2 to the sine theta, so I can take the derivative of that again using chain rule. So it'll be 2 to the, I'm going to leave the inside part alone, sine theta, ln 2 times the derivative of the inside part, which is going to be cosine theta. And again, I'm utilizing the derivative rule that the derivative of a to the x is equal to a to the x natural log a. So that's the derivative rule we're using there for 2 to the x. And next I'm asked to find the derivative of log base 7 of t squared. So the derivative rule for that will be the derivative of log base a of x is equal to 1 over x and then times natural log of a there is on the bottom. Okay, and so here I'll have it's a chain rule with log base 7, so it'll be 1 over the inside part, which is t squared, times the natural log of the base, which is 7, and then times the derivative of the inside part, which is going to be 2t. So this is g prime of t is equal to that. So this is actually equal to 2t over t squared natural log of 7. So I could actually cancel one of those t's, and it would be 2 over t natural log 7, which I could rewrite again as 2 over natural log 7 times t to the minus 1 power. And then if I want to find g double prime of t, I can say that that's going to be negative 2 over natural log 7 t to the negative 2. So there's my second derivative. So for the next one, we have an implicitly defined curve here, and so I want to find the derivative implicitly with respect to y. So I'll have 1/2 x to the minus 1/2 minus the derivative of cosine is negative sine, so plus sine of y times the derivative of the inside part, which is my dy dx, equals, again I'll have chain rule, e to the y times the derivative of the inside part, which is dy dx, and then plus the derivative of pi is 0, because pi is just a constant. Now I want to solve for dy dx, so let's subtract the sine y, or subtract things around and move things. So I'll get sine y dy dx minus e to the y dy dx is equal to negative 1/2 x to the minus 1/2. Now I can factor out the dy dx. And now I can divide that over. And that's my derivative.